Good morning everyone. This is a quick tutorial about how to make a skyscraper using a repetitive element, something like a pattern. So we are now going to create the first element, and then we will array this element to make our skyscraper. First of all, I would like to start from the front using a rectangle. Of course, the rectangle should indicate the same length and width, the same parameter that I'd like to work with. I'll suppose that it will be like 8 in 3 meters. Increase it a little bit, like 4. Yes. Now we will make 2 copies out of this rectangle, like shift and dragging. Please make sure that it is a copy, not an instance, because we would like to make different changes, several changes between both of them. Then I'll grab both of the rectangles and convert them to editable spline. Editable spline will give us much more varieties and much more options that we can control and change and alter the shape. Now I'll start working on the first one. I would like to grab the first 2 vertices. So I pressed on the vertex and selected the first 2 vertices at the above. Now I'll make a weld. Please make sure that the threshold is a bigger number than 0. Now, after welding them, this is the result. I'll make the same changes to the other rectangle. Also welding, so now I have 2 identical rectangles. Now I would like to relocate one of them above the other. So I press on the snag toggle and then right click on the snap toggle, and then make sure that you are selecting the midpoint option. Now I'll start by dragging this one above this one. Now we have like 2 rectangles identical on the same part. Also make sure that both of them, the interpolation is adaptive. The interpolation, it's responsible for smoothing the line. See, there's like a break between these 2 segments in here. So after making an adaptive, it's perfectly smooth. Now I'd like to select the other rectangle and make it also adaptive, just to make sure that both of them are smooth. Now, one of the rectangles, I'll take the above point that we have welded earlier and start to make some chamfer. Chamfer breaks it like shown here. Now I'd like to take the other one. I'll take the above point and make a fillet. Just above the chamfer there's another option called fillet. I'll make a fillet and make sure that it is smaller a little bit than the other one. Now I'll take the SP line of the filleted shape. Now I'll take the SP line and press on outline just to make an offset to the inside. After making this offset into the inside, I'll just delete the outer one. So this is the option. This is the resulting shape that I have taken. I might increase a little bit its length. Increase a little bit the points. The other shape also, I might make some slight changes in it. Now I have 2 shapes. I just pressed on perspective to realize the 2 shapes. One of them I would like to give it an extrude modifier. An extrude modifier, it's increasing the height in the z-axis. So if I've just pressed on F3 to show you, I might make it like 0.5 meter. Now we will start working on the other inside shape. Actually, I don't like to have the whole shape or the complete shape like this. I'd like only to have half of the shape. So I'll be pressing on create line and also make sure that the snap toggle with the option of the midpoint is opened. So now I'll start by creating a midline like this. Now I'll press on SP line to make some trims. Trim. Now I'll start welding the first 2 points, and please make sure that this is only 1 point when you just select them. The 3D Studio Max tells you that these are 2 vertices selected. If you just press on one of them and try to move it, so these are 2 points, they are not 1 point. So I'll grab both of the points and start welding them like here. I'll do the same at the edge, the below edge. Now I have this shape. Now I'll convert it to 3D using an option called lathe. Lathe tends to make a round shape like shown in this figure. So now I have an extruded shape, which is the first one, and lathed shape, which is the second one. The last option, now we would like to subtract both of them. Actually, I'm working on 3ds Max 2017. It might be a little bit different from the earlier versions. So I'll start by pressing Geometry, Compound Objects, choosing Boolean. Then I'll add an operand, a second operand. And please make sure it is not union, the option that's selected. Please make sure that it is a subtract selection. Now you will be having this shape. Okay, we have some tweaks here. This might be a result of... Now our last step is to adjust the size and some tweaks in our model. So I'll be adding an edit poly. Edit poly is a very powerful modifier that enables us to make a lot of changes and a lot of things. So for example, I don't like to have this vertex. I'll make it remove, and please make sure that you are making a remove, not delete, remove. Other option, I would like to rescale a little bit this model. So I think you can adjust it as desired. Now I would like to make a rotation, in a 90-degree rotation, for example, and I'll be repeating my pattern. Now I'll be working on a vertex, not a midpoint, just to make sure that I can choose it from this corner to this corner and make several copies, like 5 or 6 copies. All of these are just several items, so I'd like also to make a modification. I can collapse all of them just to change them to one object, and I would like to add a symmetry modifier. Symmetry modifier tends to make a mirror out of the selected item, so you can choose the mirror axis, X or Y or Z. I would like to prefer to use Y. I'll choose the mirror and then start by by moving it. Also, there's another very nice option that you can use, which is to rotate the mirror. So I can make a rotation in 90 degree. So now I have this pattern. After having this pattern, also I would like to add another symmetry modifier. So I'd like to make like 2 modifiers of symmetry, also around the Y axis. I'll move it a little bit, then make another rotation, move it a little bit to make sure. Also make another rotation. That's the end result. Now I would like to move it from this axis exactly to this axis, from this point to this point. Now start to having an interesting pattern that might be useful. And also please make sure that your plane is a perfect square. So now you can also add another inner box which can act as a glass skin inside your structure. I'll increase the height a little bit, and let's check our final result. I'll make different colors just to clarify the difference between them. And this is our structure. Thank you for watching.